Bulldog Nation, you are now going to witness, watch, and listen to the best podcast in the league. Get set for a wild ride with From the Hill Podcast, featuring Wayne Cartwright, Damian Green, Tenarius Gooden, David Thomas, Jennifer Murray, and Corey Williams. Don't miss out. Subscribe now to From the Hill Podcast. It's time to turn up the excitement and make some noise.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome. And what's up, Dave? How you doing, my
What's
brother?
up, man? How you doing?
Good, brother. We living.
Hey, before you go any further, that hat.
Yeah.
That hat,
It's
man.
it's a RNR exclusive. RNR exclusive.
Man, I'm so mad at RNR. You know, we were down there for the Southern game, man. I was trying my damnedest to get some A&M gear, and I went to Walmart, and they had, you know, some things, but nothing that I really wanted. And so I remember I was in the chat with y'all saying, hey, what can I get some A&M gear? I was like, try to go R&R. They open at 9 o'clock. So I was like, all right, good. Man, I get there. They were not open at all. So I was like, all right, do some more running around. I went back to Walmart, kind of changed my mind, but still didn't want nothing from Walmart. Then I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, and then I said, well, let me circle back to R&R because it's about maybe like an hour and a half later. Maybe they open later, right? Man, them jokers still wasn't open. So that's why I had on my From the Hill podcast t-shirt, which I didn't mind wearing, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know, push the brand out there. So, but I was really hoping I can get something from there because, you know, T is always saying, you know, he gets some really great stuff from there. And then now you come on here with this hat on. And I mean, oh, hold on. But I did get this from RNR Sports, though. T actually went there and got me on FaceTime and put some things together for me. So I did get this from them, but I wanted something, you know, game day. But it's all good, though.
That's what's up, man. You know, yeah, man, it's always good to get some stuff, though. You know, I'm planning to get some more stuff when I go down there in February. So, you know, shout out to RNR Sports, man. If you live locally or even when you come into town, you know, make sure you go hit them up. Man, we just gave them a free plug, didn't we?
Okay. Get 2 minute conversation about RNR Sports.
Hey, you know what I'm saying, man? It was, you know, them some good folks, man. So shout out to them. All right, so it's you and me, man. We doing this thing tonight. So everybody that's tuning in, make sure you hit that like button. Everybody hit that like button. You know, either if you're watching it on Facebook or you're watching it on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed to us. And then also across the bottom of the screen, we have all of our updated sports schedules. So volleyball, they're winding down the regular season. They got 2 matches at home this weekend. They'll have senior day on Sunday. You've also got bowling. Shout out to bowling, by the way, man.
Definitely shout out to bowling.
Getting it done again, man. Hornet Classic, They got it done. So, you know, shout out to Coach James Moore, man. Y'all doing it big, even ranked in the country, man.
What is it, 22? I think they're ranked.
Yeah, one of those, man. They doing it. They doing it.
Shout out to the bowling team.
Yeah, and then women's basketball for getting a win over Eastern Michigan. They're currently in play right now against UAB. They're in the event center. And then, you know, they've got the annual school day game that's coming up next Wednesday at home in the event center. And then the men, they'll be back in full effect tomorrow night against Fisk. And then they hit the road this weekend when they get to take on Tennessee State. And then, of course, football, the home finale is taking place on Thursday. Not Saturday this week. It's on Thursday. And it'll be on ESPNU going up against those G-men from Grambling. So,
and also to mention about that game, Wayne, that game is Student Appreciation Day, and it's also a blackout game. So if you are going to attend the game, I just got caught up by the by the score. It threw me off.
So we're down by two with 4:21 left. We'll make sure we update y'all. Let's go.
Let's go Bulldogs. But yeah, it's a blackout game and student appreciation. So if you're going to attend the game, make sure you wear all black.
That's it. Yep. And ESPNU, you'll get on TV. You can be seen. Shout out to Tiffany Green and Jay. All right. Let's get into our we got a brief little housekeeping for you, but very effective, and it's focused upon our 150th campaign. Dave, take the wheel, man.
Yeah, so of course, you know, if you haven't seen this, then I don't know what you've been doing, but everybody's been talking about it, and university definitely has been pushing it on social media. It's the 150th celebration of the university, and they have this campaign going on. And so I wanted to just show real quick, because people may not know this part of the information. They just know what the university is asking for, right? So within this campaign, the university has 3 priorities you guys can see on the screen, right? So priority 1 is focused on the community. Priority 2 is science. And then priority 3 is scholarships. So under priority 1, this is going to focus on the beautification of the campus, right? Upgrades to new buildings and just the whole aesthetic of the campus. So we're looking at a new student center, a new Meridian Street Bridge. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that. Vice President Ali has been on the show and mentioned the campaign for the Meridian Street Bridge. And then Hillcrest, as you guys know, at the very top of the hill, the old president's house, right? So they're going to redo that, and then a new athletic complex. Now, I tried to get the pictures, Wayne, from the campaign website, but they had wording on it. So I didn't want to, you know, have to figure out how to get the words off. But you guys can definitely go out to the website and check that information out. So then under priority 2, we're talking about a new science center. So this was already been, I believe, approved by the board to get a new science center. So you guys have also seen the circulation of that going on. And then under priority 3, we're talking about scholarship, right? So scholarship support, faculty support, research support, and program support. So when the university is saying, hey, we want to try to raise $150 million by December 2025, this is what all those things are going to. So I want all the Bulldogs to please consider participating in this campaign. And so on the next slide, we all know that, okay, they want to give, right? But they don't want the alumni to fully fund the whole entire campaign, right? There's a percentage, you know, that we come in, which is that you guys can see on the screen, that 10% where it says individual, right? So from the university, they're asking for 10,000 alumni to commit to $1,500 in gifts to support this campaign, right? And there's various ways that you can donate this $1,500, right? If you got it to drop all at once, hey, go ahead, drop it all at once. But if you can't, you can go on to the university's website at www.aamu.edu/give, and you can set up your donation amount and how frequently you want the donation to be deducted from your debit card, checking account, or your credit card. They had what are those things called? They have formulas on Facebook saying, hey, if you do $25 per week all the way up to, you know, December 2025, you hit your $1,500. So there's various ways you guys can participate in this, but I think it's really important, not just that it's the mark of the milestone for the university, but because we're in different circles and everybody constantly says the same thing, right? They want to see upgrades to this. They want to see upgrades to that. The university needs to do this. Well, here's a campaign for them to address some of the things that, you know, we've all been talking about, but we have to, you know, do our part in this. So if we can definitely get the 10,000 alumni to commit to $1,500 and participate in this, I think we will definitely hit that milestone from our section, right? So if you see the funding breakdown, it has different sectors on where they plan to target to get that $150 million, right? So you have in-kind donations, you got corporate sponsorships, you got investments, and all sorts of things. They're going to try to get this $150 million. Then with your donation, you get this nice little keepsake. It's the 150th anniversary pin. But there will be other keepsakes, you know, throughout this whole entire campaign that they will be, you know, presenting. There are going to be events. You know, last week we tried to have, I I forgot her name. Who do we have on last week or the week before? Miss Latanya, I think what her name is.
Latanya.
Yeah, we tried to get her to give us some details about what the university has planned for the celebration, but she didn't share us with anything. But I really urge all alumni, 10,000 alumni, to participate in this campaign. I'll be participating in this campaign, setting my donations up. So, when I just felt like I wanted to make sure everybody had this information, because again, everybody's putting out, or the university is putting out this campaign, participating, but I don't think many people know exactly what this money will be going to. So if you guys want more detail about this entire campaign, definitely check out the university website, www.aamu.edu/150, and that will take you directly to the entire overview of the campaign.
Hey, Alicia made it real simple for everybody to see it. $28.85 every week in 2025. So,
and she put $28.85 because why? Do not skip out on that fee.
That's it.
Everybody likes to forget the fee. Don't skip out on the fee.
That's it.
Don't skip out on the fee.
That's it. So, yeah, man. Everybody, I'm definitely gonna do mine. I know Jay the Great, you gonna get in on this too. So yeah, this will be great, man, to get this to do this campaign, and it'll be a joyous celebration, man, all throughout 2025, man. 150 years. So
definitely,
that's everything we got for all of the housekeeping. And so with all of that said, all things considered, it's time to get started tonight with our guests of honor. So we've been looking to have this group on for quite a while, and it gives us great pleasure to welcome for the first time a very accomplished sport on the Hill. It'll be our tennis team, and it'll be joined by our head coach, Willis Mbandi, and Ntokozo Zungu. How are you this evening?
Good evening. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Hey, I said to Coach Willis, I said I practiced saying your name about 50 times, so I wanted to make sure I had it right. So we got it.
No,
I was practicing her name also, Wayne. I was still messing up. I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna butcher this name when she come on here.
Hey guys, we tried to give you the two toughest names for the evening.
Yeah, we see. You definitely accomplished that.
But practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
Makes perfect. Yes.
Hey, when I officiate track meets and I work as a clerk, that's the people who, they put athletes in their lanes and give them their lane assignments and tell them rules of the race. I have this rule: if I can't say the last name, I say the first name. If I can't say the first name, I just say the last name. If I can't say either one, I'll just say a cool girl from Alabama A&M University in lane number 6. Because I'm like, you are not about to have me butchering anybody's names anywhere at any time. Or my other trick is this. Say last name. Say it for the people.
Zungu.
Yeah, there it is. That's my other trick.
Here, one more time, right, Wayne?
Yep. I'm like, say it for me, and then they'll say it. I'm like, there you go. It's said.
There you go. Yes.
So anyhow, welcome to the show. It is a pleasure to have you all on. Tennis is been doing some really, really big things. And I want to first start off by saying congratulations about the HBCU Tournament Championship. Talk about that to start off with, Coach, and then, talk about some of your players and just everything that happened with the tournament according to both of your perspectives.
Wayne, thank you so much for having us. And thanks for everything you do for all the sports at Alabama A&M. The HBCU Championship was a great accomplishment for our program. We've been getting really close the past couple of years. I think we've had a few top 3 finishes. We've actually had one of our players win the Flight A championships 2 years ago. So we've gotten kind of close. But this year, what made it special is collectively as a team, we played really well. Now, and credit to the young ladies because they made a decision as a team. I mean, we made a decision as a team that we're going to go out there and actually try and win it this time. So with the intention to go out and try and win it, and the performances that we kept out there during the weekend, the team spirit was amazing. I was so happy with the way we were cheering for each other, and collectively we finally got it done, and we were so excited. It's been a personal goal for me, and to have these young ladies accomplish it, it's just something special. It's going to be a special part of my life for the rest of my coaching career.
Ntokozo, you played in it, so talk about it from your perspective.
Well, winning the HBCU has been something that's, been lingering in our minds. I mean, I'm a senior, and this is my second year playing the HBCU. So I don't really have a lot of understanding as to how to play it as a team. But then when we all got out there, we all had the same mindsets of, we all want to do well and we want to do well together. So when we went out there, we did what we had to do individually, and then as a team, eventually, it built up. And surprisingly, the day before we were given the win, we didn't know that we were in the lead. One of the boys came to us and was like, "Did you guys know that you guys are leading by a mile?" And I'm like, "There's no way." And then when we looked, we were like, "Oh my gosh, like we're actually, in the lead." So now it was just a matter of, keeping that lead, but, while remaining humble and focused on, the task at hand. And eventually, like Coach said, the team spirit is one thing that kept us going, because we're all like-minded individuals. We all want greatness for ourselves and our program. So we went out there, did our thing, and it was definitely remarkable. Such a great experience.
That sounds awesome. I can just imagine like the shock when you guys just faced when they said you guys are leading. You guys like, what? No, that can't be possible. I bet that was just great. Well, Coach, I wanted to ask you, and some may not know, but you were a student here at A&M, right? Before you became the coach? Okay, and so you also played tennis, and from my research and everything, you were a great player as well as a great student, graduating, was it summa cum laude? You graduated?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Okay, so I wanted to ask about, how that feels, you being a student athlete here at A&M and now coming back to coaching. Do you think this was always in your path? Because you accomplished a lot of things. I'm just going to go down the list of some. Some of those things were, you were the director, and correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, the director of the Huntsville Arena Tennis Association and the head pro at the Dublin Tennis Center. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So it seems like with all those things, the path of coach was going to come down your way anyway. So was it always a plan to go back and coach, whether it be at the collegiate level or at maybe high school or a lower level?
Well, to be honest, I didn't picture myself coaching college tennis. I knew I wanted to coach tennis. I was coaching tennis, but I was involved in junior development. Mm-hmm. And high performance. However, when the chance came to coach my alma mater, Alabama A&M, a program that I hold very dear to my heart, I thought about it for a few days. At that time, I was still dating my wife, and I spoke to her and I asked her, "Hey, this opportunity came up. Well, what do you think? Should I take it?" And she said, "Of course, that's the program you played for. It's your school. You love the school. Then why wouldn't you want to coach there?" And that's how I ended up getting my first coaching job. And thanks to Brian Hicks and President Eugenie at that time, But ever since I took over, I've never thought twice about it. I'm always happy being out there. I'm always happy leading the program. I'm always happy working with the players that I have. So I'm actually very blessed to be coaching a sport that I love and at a school that I hold dear to my heart.
And now's the first time, Coach, you got the HBCU national title under your belt, so I think you're doing pretty good.
Yes, it's taken a while, but everything in God's time.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So the one question I asked is, especially with players, and since you were a player as well, Coach, who is your inspiration? Who do you model your game after? And then for you, Coach, who do you model your coaching style after? Like, who is the tennis player that just really is your idol?
You're about to make me show my age here, huh? Well, I'm a big Roger Federer fan. To me, I think is the best player to step on the tennis courts. But I do have a few players who I've come to admire lately. Rafa is one of them. As a coach, I would say my coach was a big inspiration to me, Coach Thomas Colvin. And my strength and conditioning coach at Alabama A&M, Coach Andrew Lee.
Yeah, Coach Lee. I know about it too.
was a big inspiration to me as well. And I try and copy his style of coaching where he gets the people side right, because he's a hard coach, but he's also very nice to his student athletes. So that's a coaching style that I've tried to copy, and of course put a little of my own style. But for a big part, it's Coach Lee who has been a big inspiration to me.
Nice.
And Ntokozo, who do you model your game after, or your idol, your inspiration?
In terms of inspiration, as cliche as this may sound, but I was inspired by Serena Williams. And that's because her background is more so similar to mine, as she was coached by her dad. My dad is also the one that, gave me my first racket and introduced me to the sport. So I resonate a lot with her in terms of that, and in terms of the challenges that she faced, growing up in a sport that wasn't so popular to people of color. So those are the challenges that I resonate with. And, her as an individual, that fighting spirit, that never give up, that always going out there, putting her best foot forward. Those are the qualities that I look up to and I try to implement myself. So she's definitely someone that I look up to, even though she's not, playing at the moment, but she'll always have a special place in my heart, because, she's one of the greats that I looked up to when growing up.
Well, I'm going to stay with that here into this next question, Ntokozo. You talk about just growing up and your journey. So I know that you didn't start at A&M, but I want to kind of go a little bit further back from that. So talk about where you're from and just your journey through, from growing up, where you're from, and then making it into tennis and then leading it up to now. Just give us a little bit about who Ntokozo is and where she came from.
So Ntokozo is a South African tennis player. Well, I started playing tennis at the age of 4 or 5. And like I'd mentioned, my dad is the one that introduced me to the sport. He was a coach, coaching other children in the township in South Africa. And then from there onwards, he decided to focus more on, me and the rest of my siblings. I started playing tournaments in South Africa, where I eventually got my WTA ranking. I was ranked high in the country. I traveled to the likes of Japan through tennis, representing South Africa. And then that's when I came to Cowley College, which is a college in Kansas. And then that's when I did my freshman and sophomore year. And then I transferred here, thanks to Coach Willis and Mbandi, who gave me the opportunity to further my skills in tennis. And that's when I completed my junior year here. And I'm currently doing my senior year. So that's just basically a summary of who Ntokozo Zungu is.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. And then for Coach, I know when you talked about Coach Andrew Lee, you know, I know Coach Andrew Lee real well from running track and some of those moments in that weight room. So just when you were an athlete at A&M, you know, just for folks who don't know you like we do, you know, how did you even come to Alabama A&M? Like, what options did you have out there when you were growing up as a junior player?
In my last year playing juniors, I did really well, and I had decent rankings in the ITF junior rankings. I think at that time I was ranked 450 in the world. I did have some options. Did get some offers from different schools, but Alabama A&M stood out to me because the coach was very. I felt like we had a personal connection. Yeah. At that time, believe it or not, we were using MSN Messenger to chat to coaches.
Oh wow! I remember that.
You know? And so I was back in Kenya, and of course he was here in the United States. But we had to set up a time when we can chat. And with some of the coaches, when I would go onto MSN Messenger, they would not be available or they would be busy. But my coach, Thomas Colvin, was always there and always chatting. So I just made the decision to come to Alabama A&M because it was somebody I could depend on and somebody who looked like he wanted me to come and play for the school. So that was an easy decision for me because it was a coach who wanted me to be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ntokozo, did I say that right? Or
yes.
Close? Okay, great. So I wanted to ask about getting your offer from Alabama A&M because I watched an interview. I think it was about a year ago. It was with Newsroom Africa. And so you mentioned during the interview how, you know, you had aspirations of being a professional, you know, tennis player, and receiving a D1 scholarship, you know, will get you closer to that goal. So when, you know, Coach Willis, you know, found you and offered you the scholarship to come to A&M, talk about what that moment was, because now you're getting closer, you know, to your dream of being a professional tennis player. So talk about that for a little bit with us.
So as I mentioned prior, was that I was at a junior college in Kansas, Cowley College. So Coach Willis was talking to my father, you know, showing interest in having me on the.
Showing interest in having me on the team. Oh,
it's about to get good too. I felt it.
It sure is.
I think she's going to jump right back in.
Yeah, she will. Jay, you got anything? As you take yourself off mute.
So let me tell y'all that's watching. The reason why I have to put my phone on mute is because it's like Wild Kingdom over here. I have a cat, and she is literally sitting on my foot, and she gets really loud. So I have to mute because she would be a part of the show. She is looking at me right now too. So y'all don't mind.
Nick says she is part of the show.
She really.
All right, Ntokozo, go ahead, continue.
Sorry, apologies for that. I don't know what's happening with the internet on campus. But as I'd mentioned, so Coach Willis was talking to my dad and explaining to him how interested he is in having me on the team. And my biggest dream was to play at a Division I, because not only do I want to, you know, play tennis, but I want to, you know, possibly, further my dreams of becoming a professional tennis player. Hence why I wanted to come to college so I can further my dream, because back home in South Africa, we don't really have those opportunities of becoming a professional tennis player while furthering your studies. They take sports as a hobby and not necessarily as something that you're really passionate in and something that you see a future in. So when I, got that offer from coach, I was excited, I was ecstatic, but I knew with that came, obligations, responsibilities, because there's certain duties that I also need to fulfill in order to keep that scholarship. So yes, I was happy, I was excited, but also I liked the challenge it came with it, because that was going to build my character. That was going to push me, to greater heights. So when coach gave me that scholarship, I was excited, and I felt like I'm a step closer to, hopefully achieving that dream of becoming a future.
Yeah, that's awesome. You said it's on now. I got that D1 scholarship. It's on now.
Right when the internet went back out again. All right, Jen.
I had a question for her, but I'll go with Coach. So she made a very good point about just being underrepresented and with people of color in the sport of tennis. So what advice do you have for the up and coming? Let's say we have some young future Bulldogs or kids that will watch this replay. What advice do you have for them that want to get into tennis and be the next generation?
Tennis is one of those sports where you will need a good team around you. You definitely have to have a good technical foundation with all your strokes. You need to be able to have a good coach who's going to lead you. And with the team around, we're talking about a good coach, a good fitness coach, and also plan your program where you're playing enough tournaments and you're able to develop. One of the reasons why I think not a lot of people of color play tennis, one, it's relatively expensive. But the second one, it takes a while for you to get going. It's not one of those sports where you can just go and play a game. Like, let's say soccer, even if you don't know how to play, kids still go out and play a game. But tennis is one of those sports where you have to learn the game, and it takes a little while to learn before you can start competing. And once you start competing, you still need to put in a lot of hours for you to get better. Yeah. So my advice would be get a good team around you, get you a good coach who's well invested in your development, and just put in the time and work hard. It can definitely be done.
Some good stuff. Now, here's a question from the group, and this is for both of you. Question, because I watch all this stuff too. What is your favorite tournament to watch out of the Grand Slams? Wimbledon, French Open, US Open, or the Australian?
Mine is Wimbledon.
I was just about to say the same thing.
So you love that Wimbledon on that grass, huh?
Yes.
I love the Wimbledon, the all whites, the
white.
The all whites.
Exactly.
Yes.
It is so fresh to see. It is so. I love it. I love the fashions.
Yeah, that is pretty dope. For me, I love US Open because it's like right around, because my birthday is at the end of August every year, and that's like always like right around when the tournament starts. I love it. I love the night matches at the US Open because when you get all the celebrities out there, and then like the match can go to like 2:00 in the morning, they going at it. So, but hey, Wimbledon though, definitely Wimbledon is my number 2, man. When y'all said the all whites,
the sophistication.
But does it feel like the US Open is more rowdier than Wimbledon? What y'all say? Like it's more...
it's definitely more. It definitely is to me.
The atmosphere at the U.S. Open is like no other. It's
They be
like
turning
the
up
U.S. Open is
on
like a
US
big
Open.
party.
I don't watch tennis, so I wouldn't know. So I'm in the minority on this.
You should, man. You missing out. You
They
missing
turn
out,
up.
boy.
You know, I might need to start watching then.
It's
missing out.
really, yeah, it's fun to watch. Now, once I figured out that love is not good, I said, "Oh, okay, cool. Now I know." You're like, "Oh, love, that sounds good, baby. You losing." Okay, now I know. Okay, now I know. Okay.
Not in the sports.
I spend. It's funny because I spend so much
Very
time when I'm watching it. My wife will ask me. She said, "What'd you say the rules were again? What'd you say? They got to be the first to what in the set, and how many sets is it?" You know, and I explain it all. But yeah, I love it all. My favorite player, my favorite player right now is I love Coco.
Oh yeah.
Coco Golf, but I also I know this might sound real crazy, people that I really like, and people that don't watch tennis and be like, what are y'all talking about? But I've been a Nick Kyrgios fan too.
I don't blame you, actually. I don't blame you. That's not far-fetched.
Yeah, now just for those that know, Nick Kyrgios is a guy, when you talk about wild and flamboyant, Nick Kyrgios is like let's say if it's basketball, he's like Draymond Green playing tennis. Get in trouble, make a whole lot of noise, will cuss the officials out. Is that about a good comparison, would you say?
That's a good comparison. That's a good comparison. But tennis needs Nick Kyrgios.
That's true.
We need him because I like him because he's very outspoken. He speaks his mind, and is not shy to call out on the big boys in the tour.
Yeah.
So I'm finna tell my age. Now of course I love the Williams sisters. I idolize them, wanted to wear my hair in beads sometimes, but growing up before we had that, we didn't really have that representation. So growing up, I would always watch Andre Agassi. Like he was, he just seemed so cool with it. But yeah, we just, we really didn't have that representation until, of course, you had prior to that, Arthur Ashe, but that was a little before my time. But yeah.
Well, we got Big Foe out there, Francis. Francis Tiafo out there.
Yes.
See, I'm telling y'all, man. I watch all this, man. I watch the whole when the Grand Slam start, man. I watch that whole thing start to finish, like Australian Open. Back when they had the now here we dating it now. Remember when everybody had the DVR? Because remember the championship match would come on at like 3:00 in the morning.
Yes.
Right?
And I would DVR and I wake up on Sunday morning and watch it. So yeah. That's some good stuff.
Hey,
so
let me
go ahead, Dave.
Ask real quick, because